DeepSeek cyber attack exploits growth challenges in AI platforms. Leadership vacuums in U.S. cybersecurity oversight put critical reviews at risk. A Juniper router backdoor highlights stealthy attacker techniques, and the FBI urges action as attackers exploit local admin accounts. This is Cybersecurity Today. I'm your host, Jim Love. The open-source AI company DeepSeek has temporarily stopped new user registrations after detecting a large-scale cyber attack. DeepSeek reported that attackers attempted to breach its systems through a series of highly coordinated probes targeting known open-source vulnerabilities. These attacks went unnoticed initially because the activity mirrored legitimate user behavior, a technique often used to slip in under traditional monitoring tools. While DeepSeek states no user data was compromised, this incident underscores the difficulty in securing rapidly scaling platforms that prioritize openness. For DeepSeek, the challenge now is to tighten its defenses without sacrificing the transparency that attracted its users. Key cybersecurity oversight bodies are in chaos following recent firings and delays in leadership appointments. Among the hardest hit is the Cyber Safety Review Board, CSRB, which had been investigating Salt Typhoon's telecom intrusions, a complex series of attacks targeting critical infrastructure in the U.S. The board's work has been disrupted due to the sudden loss of experienced members who were deeply familiar with the ongoing case. Former members warned that the lack of continuity will hinder investigations, as these cases rely on expertise developed through years of work and first-hand context. For instance, Salt Typhoon attackers used encrypted communications and tampered firmware to operate covertly, techniques that are difficult to trace without experienced investigators who understand the subtle signs of such intrusions. And likewise, difficult to regulate without regulators who understand the technology. With CSRB and other oversight bodies paralyzed, critical investigations might stall, leaving significant blind spots in national security in the U.S. Organizations should push for greater transparency in public cybersecurity efforts, but in the meantime, they need to ensure their own resilience, because in some cases, you might be on your own. A backdoor vulnerability in Juniper routers discovered earlier this month is being exploited by attackers to bypass authentication through the router's web interface, JWeb. This issue stems from a flaw in the software that allows attackers to send specially crafted HTTP requests, granting them administrative control without needing valid credentials or even raising alarms. Juniper first became aware of the vulnerability during routine security reviews and has since traced its origins back to older software versions that did not properly validate input. The technique's stealth is part of what makes it so dangerous. By mimicking legitimate traffic patterns, attackers are avoiding detection by intrusion detection systems and evading logs designed to catch abnormal behavior. The backdoor's low resource usage means it can persist undetected for extended periods. Juniper is used by a large number of communications and other companies, so this is going to constitute an extreme risk. They've released a patch, but this incident highlights the increasing sophistication of attacks on critical infrastructure. Beyond patching, organizations might have to do some other things, reviewing admin access logs and implementing behavior-based monitoring tools to catch anomalies that signature-based systems just might miss. The FBI has issued a warning about attackers exploiting local admin accounts to infiltrate systems and escalate privileges. This approach is effective because these accounts often have broad, poorly monitored access, and in some cases, employees, whether malicious or negligent, are a big part of the risk. The issue is made worse by weak access controls or outdated monitoring systems that can fail to detect misuse. Attackers use techniques like phishing and brute force attacks to compromise credentials, but once inside, they can mimic legitimate admin activities, blending into routine system operations, and by using tools like PowerShell to execute commands, they avoid triggering alarms, leaving organizations unaware of their presence. That's why the FBI is recommending not just disabling unnecessary accounts, but also enforcing unique strong passwords and limiting admin privileges to essential tasks. Implementing continuous monitoring and logging for local admin accounts can also help identify unusual activity before it escalates into a major breach. And that's our show for today. You can reach me with tips, comments, and even constructive criticism at editorial@technewsday.ca. I'm your host, Jim Love. Thanks for listening.